On today's sit down, joining me, as always, Anna-Marie Meyer. We're going to discuss 9 industries that can make you a millionaire. These are real industries that if you dive into, study the history, study who the real role players are, study all their moves, you have a real chance of becoming a millionaire. This is not crypto or forex trading that does this. These are industries that you can become a master of, and you can expand your knowledge and make a lot of wealth. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. First industry, financial services.
That's my game. I think with all these industries that we've got, first of all, just to start off with, I think it's time for people to think out of the box. There's a lot more. Now, financial industry, it's not only the banking sector. It's not only money makes money. There's insurance companies, loan services, banking. The motor industry's got a financial side of thing.
Huge.
So, huge, very huge. And they tend to forget about it. I don't need to work inside the bank to make money. I can be a F&I to make money. And there's so many to look into. But find the sweet spot. And if you feel you want to do financial, find the sweet spot where you think you can fit in. Other brokerage, insurances, banking, go for it.
Number 2 industry is technology. So recently, I've heard something that made so much sense. Technology is moving at its fastest currently, but it will never be this slow again. I'm going to repeat that. Technology right now, today, is moving faster than it ever has, and it will never be this slow again. So what does that mean? If you look at big companies like Facebook, Google, those are giants. They are corporates that are Titanics in oceans, very slow to move. But if you go and dive into an industry that has nimbleness, it has speed, it has effectiveness, and you can solve real life problems with technology, with software, your chances of hitting it big are very, very, very possible. Do you agree?
Absolutely, I do agree.
Awesome. Number 3, healthcare.
Healthcare is not only a medical aid. Medical aid falls under financial. Healthcare, I don't need to be a doctor. What about servicing old age homes? What about looking after a dietitian?
Yes.
Fitness.
Yes.
There's so many possibilities. And on that side, you can even look at little children, where you can look into the health on children, where you can make sure there's exercise programs. So there's so many things. So go deep into that issue. You don't need to be a doctor.
100%. I fully agree as well. Number 4, real estate and construction. It is said that by 2025, on planet Earth, we're going to be 8 billion people with a B. 2050, we will be 10 billion people. If you have a look at the industry of real estate and construction, where will everybody live? How will they get there? They need roads, bridges. Where will their kids go to school? Where will they shop? I mean, that's a massive industry that you can perhaps go into. Very competitive. It's a cutthroat industry, but if you're tough enough and you've got the ability to bear pain, like my friend Vince always says, if you're tough enough and ability to bear pain, you will definitely be successful.
Hard work.
Yeah, 100%. Number 5, education.
I think it's a favorite for all of us. You've got to build yourself. And nowadays you do get young people coming out of school, straight out of school, and they start with online tutoring. Yeah. There's a massive market for that. So you're based in South Africa and you do tutoring across the whole world. So it's not only that, people want to feel fulfilled. So they need more. So with education, no need for a university. Stop thinking only about university, only about a technikon. Start thinking about the smaller groups, online, home, personal, the private tutoring sessions. There's a lot to do on education.
Absolutely. I fully agree. I mean, recently...
Building blocks.
Yeah. Recently, I've heard of an app in India that sold for billions of dollars because they got a good subscription model going. So they taught little kids how to read. It's basic. But I mean, the fact that they did it in an effective way using technology, so connecting two industries, did you see what just happened?
But that's
Using
exactly
tech and
that.
education, it made a massive business. The guy sold. He sold for
But-
billions of
but
dollars.
look at all the kind of apps that you can get.
Yeah.
Word search and word name and
Yeah.
rename and whatever it's called.
Yeah,
but
education
from-
with tech.
Exactly. And that is what we want. And there's a lot of money.
Number 6, entertainment and recreation. So, I mean, this is a vast ocean with stuff like Amazon Prime Time, Netflix. But you don't necessarily have to be in front of the camera. There's a lot of opportunity for you behind the camera, on set, on stage. There is just, it's so vast. And you just need to outwork everybody else, be seen, and then move up the ranks. You can
Hard work.
definitely make millions in that industry. Number 7, transportation. Something
think
we
it's
know a little bit about.
Yeah, I think it's easy and we all need a way and a mean to get from A to B.
Yeah.
And with current fuel prices, it is a problem. So even if you go into a lift club, it's making money. Even if you decide to run into a Uber kind of situation, delivering of goods, people don't want to step out of their houses. So there was a lot of things over the last 2 years that happened. So fuel prices now, but we had COVID before that. So people don't want to leave. So why not rendering a service to an old age home maybe?
Yeah.
And making sure. Postal services, why don't you collect for a specific place? Because they don't want to make use of postal services anymore. So you go collect everything for that specific, and you only contract yourself out to your area specific.
Yeah, and then you can
And
grow it.
you
Become
grow
a
it from
logistical
there.
company.
Yes.
100%. Number 8, energy. So gas, oil, everything that Mother Nature supplied to us for free has a unit. So what does that mean? Eventually we run out of gas, oil and minerals. So I believe the person or the company or the team that figures out the most cost-effective, highest producing way, whether it's wind, solar technology advancement, that company, team or person becomes probably one of the wealthiest people who have ever lived, if you can solve it effectively. We are solving for it. Elon Musk is doing a phenomenal job, but it's not as effective as it could be. Even he says it's a constant improvement.
Change.
His cars are getting more range. But the person, team or country even that solves it effectively is just on the next level. It's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, and that is obviously a bigger kind of business.
Yeah.
That is going to be a company, and
Yeah.
that's not a personal way. Some of the categories are meant for, I can personally jump into that and brand my own business,
Yeah.
where that is already a very big industry.
Yeah.
But definitely,
But
that is big money. That's
there must
billions.
be a gap. There must be a gap.
must be.
Obviously, we're gonna do. I mean, like initially we had cars that barely drove. Now we've got cars driving at 400 kilometers an hour, and it's nothing. While being in an air-conditioned environment. I mean, we will get there. The people
We will
that are
definitely get there.
innovative enough and get there quicker will be billionaires.
Risk takers.
Risk takers. There we go. Number 9, food.
I think we all need to eat.
Absolutely.
And we all know that. And that's the one industry that will never die. But people are looking for healthy options. And you see it area specific. So some areas would only have restaurants with healthy options. But that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Healthy food are more expensive than the other options. So if you can get away getting healthy food at a lower price to the market, you've made it.
Absolutely. I
But
fully
food,
agree.
health, and that is the one thing combined.
100%. I think in closing, if you leverage your strengths against an industry and you are able to help more people, because the more people you help, the more money you make. If you want to be a millionaire, you need to help thousands of people. If you want to be a billionaire, you need to help millions of people. But if you leverage your strengths against a segment or against a industry and you can help more people, that's where your income grows exponentially.
And I think this is not only for just growing your income, but it's even for
Solving
that
problems.
younger person solving problems, that younger person trying to make a living now. Go and group these and find one of these that you might be interested in.
One of
and
these
just
that you can
dug,
add value in.
And then you can really dive deep into this. You most probably will be the person adding value. Education. Education is not only books.
Yeah.
Education is maybe going back to schools or younger children, teaching them the value that someone else never thought about.
Financial education. We had on our show, we had Mr. Wouter Snyman, and he said that the one thing that lacks in schools today is real financial education. I said, what do you mean? He said at 14, he asked his teacher how a home loan worked because his mom paid a bond. So can you explain it to me? And the teacher couldn't
do it.
So eventually, with persistence, he asked the bank manager, and he laughed at him. He says, like, what do you know? You're 14, get out of my office, which is wrong because in his case, it worked out for the best. I mean, he won 8 times in a row Financial Firm of the Year because he comes from a place of teaching people, educating you on financial literacy and financial financial application. Then, you know, his company grew.
But that's exactly, you know, that's my passion. And I spoke to a couple of kids the other day, and none of them
You love working out their budgets.
any idea. You know what I feel like about a budget. None of them has got any idea on a budget. I thought by myself, don't you go through this. At a certain age, 14, you need to discuss that with your child.
Yeah,
a budget. They need
Financial
to
literacy.
understand. And that is also education. And that's why I say, if you want to find something, see out of these groups what you're happy with and dig deep into those.
I saw something the other day. Education, formal education at school and even tertiary will get you a job sometimes. Self-education will get you a career.
Yes.
Good. I really enjoyed this topic and our conversation. If you guys did too, and you feel it can add value to someone else, please like and share it as well as
Subscribe and ring the bell.
thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.